Oh. Okay. What's going on down there? Whoa. Well, that wasn't very stable. Try this. There. That should work. All right. I know I'm going to need this. And screwdrivers and things like that. Let's see what I've got for screws. Oh. Just picked up something at Harbor Freight. Got a machete. Got a blade on this side and a saw blade on this side. It's kind of flimsy, so I doubt it's real good quality steel. I don't know whether it'll hold an edge or not, but it was $6. I got to bring it closer so you can see what I'm doing right here. Okay. I have a screw to lock the drawers shut. I need my drill bits. I'll need a tape measure and some screws. Oh, there they are. So, well, I don't need to lock it shut. I'm not going to drive for a bit. All right. That machete can go back in as soon as I Velcro it back there so it doesn't come out of the sheath. That can go there. All right. So I've got a can crusher that I need to hang up. And these, I'm going to put some pretty long screws in there. And let's see, a pre-drill about a size smaller than the screws. Drill, got the screws. I just need a screwdriver tip that will work with these screws. That one should do. And I've got the holder for the screwdriver and the driver. And this. Now, I'll bring you along. So, how's your day going? Huh? We're doing pretty good here in Texas Hill Country. It's a tad warm. Not as warm as it has been. It's only about 85. All right. I think that will work. Hey, how cool is this? I can sit down and work. I'm kind of like a rabbit. When I stop, I have to sit down. Let's see. Probably like that. Now, hold that out for a moment. So I put this one screw in to hold everything in place while I drill the other holes. Oop. Back that down a little bit. So good so far. Where's this last hole here? Be sliding around. Now, this last one I'm going to actually have to get down to my hands and knees because I can't see where it is. I could feel it well enough to drill a hole, but you know you're old when you make groaning sounds every time you move. And so, yes, I know I'm old. Not quite as old as I would like to be. Getting down here wasn't actually working very well either, because when I'm this close I have to use my bifocals. Which means that I have to be looking up from the bottom. Alright, laugh if you want to. As my mother always said, one of these days you'll be as old as I am. And as I said, I'm not quite as old as I want to be. I think I'm not hitting the hole that I pre-drilled. What do you think? See, I told you couldn't make moves without groaning. All right. Okay, that's one job done for right now. Found that crusher doesn't work for beans when it wasn't fastened. It took way too much muscle. So, what are we going to do now, Tom? Well, I'm going to put these away. Don't need those now. No, I don't need the screws for now either. I still have needed the tape measure. So I'll go ahead and use that to lock that shut. I mean, talk about low tech. Something as simple as a screw just run through there holds it pretty fine. Now I've got to set you back down over here. You know, I should have kept those better drill bits out for what I'm going to do now. But I didn't. So I use this one. Which is considerably smaller than the screw that I'm going to put in, but that's what I want. I just want this as a guide. All right, so you stay there. Close that. That. And then I'll bring you over and show you what I'm doing here. Okay, the water dripping in my water harvesting tub. Look at how much, it's got so much water in it here lately that it actually bowed it out and broke. Anyway, the water that's dripping in there now is coming from the air conditioner up there. All right, what I'm doing is I'm going to I'm going to tighten that drill bit. That's what I'm going to do. Pardon me a moment. See if I can get this little tripod thingy to sit there. Hey, that worked. Now, tighten that up a bit. All right, you already saw what I was trying to do. I'm trying to drill a hole here. All right, and I will drill another on the opposite side. All right. You okay? That's quite a tumble. Fortunately, I caught you before you fell too far. All right, going back over to my toolbox, put my drill and the drill bit away. I'm going to bring over my screwdriver because I might need that just for leverage. Now I have these two large eye bolts that I'm going to install into those holes that I made. If I can get it started. Yay! That worked pretty well. Let's see if the other one works that easily. How about that? The hole was, sorry for the shakiness, that me, not the camera. But the hole was large enough that it worked as a starter hole while I screw these in. That should be sufficient. You know, that'd be easier if this tailgate were down. Yeah. Now I can get a little more leverage on it. And you're probably wondering to yourself, what the heck is Tom up to now? That's something that Ella wonders a lot. Well, what I'm thinking as a possibility, get you back up here, as a possibility of, instead of using that stick that you saw me using earlier to prop this up, to take a rope between this eye bolt and one up here on the thing, so that I could have it open and not have that stick in the way, which, trust me, it does get in the way, and occasionally gets knocked down, and then you know what happens with the stick, right? Yeah, it comes and hits me in the head. So let's see. Yeah, you're still in frame here. My little half hitch there. Oh, I got plenty of rope. It's an interesting kind of rope. I'm not sure even where I got this, but it's a nylon braid with a cotton batting in it, and it almost looks like tissue paper. But the guy that tied that really knew how to tie ropes. All right. Well, I think, as the man said, I think, therefore I am confused. Yeah. I'll cut that off about there. Now I got enough for the other side. And I guarantee that this side is filled with just as many thrills and spills as the other side. That through here. Alright, now I need to back you up a bit. Put some of this stuff back in my pocket. Oop. Now let's see how this works. First I'll open it, and I'll use the stick. Hold it in an upright position. Take this and tie a tangled up a slip knot. Okay. All right, just a half knot. get out of the way and see if this pulls. No, the rope stretches too much. Well, it was such a good idea, too. Well, not all good ideas in your head work out quite as good in reality. So, I'll have to think this through some more. Maybe I'll have to do something other than rope. It maybe needs to be something that has no elasticity in it. Better plan to take this one first. Yeah. Now I have no tension on it. Yeah. So, class, that concludes today's lessons in practical physics. That didn't work for me. All right, well, I'm going to turn you off for a moment while I go get some paper. So I have something I need to do with the measuring tape. Okay, I'm back. I should have told you to go get a cup of coffee or something while I was gone and just left it run. I didn't. What I'm trying to do is get the measurements of this because I've got a harebrained scheme, as most of them are. I would like to raise this back portion about a foot. Actually, what I'd like to do is tear this off and start over, because I've learned a few things in doing this. One is that my top shelf up there bows really badly, which means that stuff on the bottom shelf doesn't fit very well, and some of the stuff that I put in there now doesn't come out very well. So I'd kind of like to tear it all down and begin again, and if I did, I would extend it about 6 inches on each side. So in addition to being taller, that gives me a little more room on the side where I could, instead of having these covers sitting here, I could actually kind of build them in. But to do that, I need to have some measurements. And first of all, I just need to know the actual dimension here of the opening, which is 59 and a half. Got my handy dandy pen. I'll show you this pen. This came in from 4 Patriots. I had ordered a simple little survival pack. It's got all kinds of stuff in it: a flashlight, a pen, compass, fire starter kit, a little handy credit card size multi-tool. And as much as I like gadgets like this, I'm not really sure how efficient any of this is. It's got a ruler. This is actually supposed to work with a compass that you can map out your stuff. These are wrenches. These are wrenches. This is a bottle opener. There's a sharp edge here, which is not at all sharp. And there's a saw edge here, which isn't very sharp either. But even though this little thing has proven to be not so useful, I still carry it, because you never know when it hits the fan where you'll be and what you have. But anyway, I started to show you the pen. Now look at this thing. That looks deadly, doesn't it? The pen comes out, the pen goes in. No big deal. This end is a glass breaker. Where's the... There it is. This end is a glass breaker. It could also be used as a defensive weapon. What I discovered, kind of accidentally, was that if you unscrew that portion, there's a little space in there, and I don't know if I can get these in a place where you can see them. Those are nitroglycerin tablets that, in case I have trouble with my heart while I'm out. Anyway, I'll get that later. But that's what I found I can do with that little empty space up at the top. I have no idea what it was designed for, but I'm going to have to put you on pause again while I get my little tiny pill out of a groove that it fell into in my tool chest. So, pardon me, Okay, that didn't work at all. I took out my Leatherman tool, thinking I could use the needle nose pliers. Well, what happened is that, as gentle as I could be, I crushed it to powder. So, one nitro tablet. Alright, enough of that. Keep in mind though, there may be a test, so. Alright, and here's the first test. What did I tell you the width of this was? Because I didn't write it down. You don't remember, huh? You weren't paying attention. $59 3/4. It's dripping hot out here. My paper's flying away. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore at the moment. I'm going to put my tape measure back in the drawer. Fold these pieces of paper up and put in there also. Oops, I'm just going to toss it here for right now. Want to do that? You ever argue with yourself? I know most people talk to themselves, but some of us argue with themselves. Well, I'm going to throw that in the back there. Now, wait a minute. You may need that when this is all closed up. Yeah, you know, you're right. That could work. Maybe I should keep these out. And this goes back inside. This is actually my cutting board. It was going to be my drawing table. Okay. Whew. Get out here in the bright sunlight. Good. That way you can see all the sweat dripping off my head. All right, class. Class is dismissed for today. Hope you learned something other than the fact that I don't always have a plan before I start doing stuff. Yep. Pretty sure it's going to rain. Kind of sounds like rain, doesn't it? Out to look because some of it sounded like hail hitting. It was coming down so hard. There is hail. Whoa. And lightning. Well, as much as I'd like to stay out here and point out the rain to you, I think I'll go back inside.